Welcome back. Let's find out if we've got anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy.
Hey, any word yet, Greg?
Not yet, Andy, but I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I got to say, I just don't see it happening.
Why? You don't think they take us seriously?
Well, I don't think they take you seriously.
Well, maybe it's the company that I keep.
Oh, well, maybe that won't be a problem soon.
Maybe you won't be a problem soon.
That's exactly what I mean, but I'll know more after my meeting tomorrow.
You have a meeting?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not important.
All right.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
With who?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
On a floor lower than ours.
Maybe you want to grab lunch after?
No, it's around that time.
Well, maybe we can do something after that, a little later.
No, it might be a long meeting. I don't know. Well, I'll have to see.
All right. Well, okay. Well, call me if things change.
Okay. No, I will. I definitely will.
All right.
Gregalog would be Happy Meal banner, loves him some Mickey D's. Rob, you agreed with Greg that this Councilman Comrie isn't being a hypocrite in wanting to ban Happy Meals even though he loves himself some McDonald's. Please explain, because I'm not sure I buy it.
Well, Happy Meals are for kids. He's not, he's maintaining his access to the things that made him obese. He's just restricting them for children. It's actually kind of, it's for the kids.
2 points for the escape.
That was nice.
That was well done.
Yeah, have a little credit for that.
Yeah, I'll give you a check plus. Check plus.
See the meeting more.
I wish I had that in my
I wrote down a check plus. Elise, you said you think Comrie is a food addict, and you sort of compared that to alcoholism. Do you think they're comparable?
I do. I mean, I'm from Mississippi. I've seen a lot of really fat people. And it's a problem. It's people can't stop eating. No, I mean, there's so many people who cannot stop eating.
Alcoholism is a disease. I'm 100% behind that. Food addict to me is just someone who, needs to eat less.
Well, they like sugar and they like carbs the way that, maybe everyone you like alcohol.
Everyone likes sugar and carbs the way I like alcohol. Wait a minute.
Let's be honest. Alcohol is sugar and carbs.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Again!
Yeah. Just check plus.
Yeah.
It's funny. If I don't drink, I crave, cookies.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Just drink. Just get hammered.
I know. I don't know why I end up drunk on cookies. I'm a poor cookie drunk. You'll find me out by a tree with a box of Keebler Grahams smeared all over my chest.
Oh, thank God that's what that was.
Yes. I hope that's what it was.
Yeah. Data, you compared Comrie to Spock sacrificing himself. First of all, how dare you? Second of all, at least get the line right. It's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one.
I thought that the needs of real specificity didn't outweigh the importance of the point.
Well, you were wrong.
I was indeed, and I've been almost.
Yes.
You have.
Yep.
Humiliating, isn't it?
Spock was, of course, quoting the Vulcan philosopher Surak. I mean, I don't know. Also, Dana, you said that this might not be about free choice, that there might not have been free choice at all. What did you mean by that?
That free choice might just be sort of like a Dramamine given to man to ease his awful path through history.
That's what I thought you meant.
Or the illusion of free choice, rather.
No, I just wanted to check. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't that demean man and elevate history?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Now to the important stuff. Greg, I eat McDonald's or Burger King twice a week, not 3 times a week. And I don't eat sushi every Tuesday and Thursday. At least it's important for you to know that Greg is what we call in the business a pathological liar. I'm not a perjurer.
I'm sorry.
You're a binger.
I'm not a binger either. In fact, Greg, you could say perjured himself when he called me a perjurer.
Oh, I see. Well, he didn't call you. I think I called you a perjurer.
You called him a perjurer.
I called you a perjurer.
That was you, Pony Boy?
It was. Did you call me Pony Boy?
Yeah.
Why are you bringing in the outsiders references? You don't need to do that. That's not necessary, Andy. You're better than that. You're better than that. I expected more of you.
I wish I were. Gaddafi writes a letter to Obama. The best part of this letter was when Gaddafi said to Obama that he was writing to him, quote, as one African Muslim to another. I thought that was sweet.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah. Rob, you mentioned that Gaddafi overthrew King, is it Idris or Idris?
It's your choice.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I don't.
Either way, he ended up on The Wire.
Yeah, that's
Great
right,
show.
right.
Yeah, no, exactly. Do you know how he was able to overthrow him?
I do not. I'm eager to learn.
He went to, the king went to Turkey for medical treatment.
Oh.
And while he was gone, they took over the country.
That doesn't seem right.
It's kind of
why go to Turkey?
It's also kind of lame.
Yeah. 69, you could have gone to Paris straight up,
Yeah.
We're planning on doing that to my mom.
Sending her to Turkey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're going to move into her house.
Smart.
Probably shouldn't have said that on the show. Now she
you
knows.
probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
He doesn't watch.
Mom, just kidding.
If Bill were here, he'd say we'll fix it in post.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill's not here.
I know.
Where is Bill right
Thank
now, Andy?
God.
Bill's Probably face down somewhere.
Bill right now is sleeping it off somewhere, probably in a room with bars and a lot of other men.
Yes.
Smeared full of Keebler cookies.
Yes.
We hope. Dana, if we didn't have to fight in Iraq and Afghanistan, why do we have to fight in Libya?
I was corrected on Afghanistan. I think that there's grounds for that war, but Iraq was an unnecessary war. I think it's hard to make the case.
Okay, but then why isn't Libya an unnecessary war?
I think that the possibility for functioning and vibrant democracies in North Africa is definitely in the national interest. And I'm not advocating, by the way, fighting. I think that saving Benghazi was worthwhile. I never said anything about like sending in the Marines. I hope.
Where do we go, though? You know,
especially
since Benghazi.
Was it Army General Carter Ham, who was the head of the, I guess, the U.S.-led military mission, told the Senate Armed Services Committee on Thursday that the U.S. may consider sending troops to Libya now.
Yeah, and Gates said that wouldn't happen while he was Secretary of Defense.
Right. Which means he'll resign. I guess.
Oh, I see what's going on.
Well, this got dark.
Yes, it certainly did.
Yeah. And Dana was already down to begin with.
I know. It's a bad situation. I'm not saying it isn't.
Yeah. New Jersey.
Hey, we could have talked about the budget shutdown, but Snore City.
I know.
Go ahead.
I know. All right. Well, let's cheer things up by talking about background checks for Little League coaches. So because they might be pedophiles. Yeah. Greg, you asked if the town of Tenafly's Little League is just doing what's right to protect the kids, or if they're succumbing to pedoparanoia. Well, just last month, a former Little League Coach of the Year in Queens, New York, was charged with sexually molesting 3 of his players, and it turns out he was convicted of similar crimes in 1989. I would assume it'd be nice to know something like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's why I think, anything that you can do. And I mean, it's not, fingerprinting is not intrusive. It really isn't. It's just your fingers.
Of course it is. I don't understand why they can't just do background checks. I don't know why you have to fingerprint.
To make them feel like cattle. The pedophiles deserve it.
Alleged pedophiles.
What's the difference at this point? You're splitting hairs.
Well, and that's the thing, Crowder. I mean, between you and Gutfeld just sitting there, oh, let's just fingerprint everyone. If you're not guilty, you got nothing to worry about. I just pray the two of you never get any real power.
It'll never happen.
I really do. And I encourage all libertarians to write letters to Greg, by the way.
Please do. I'm very lonely.
I just did. You are.
Some truthers are coming your way.
Yeah. By the way, the Little League president said the league had to require fingerprinting in order to get grant money.
True.
I believe grant money is like a really good coach.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in Melrose Place?
He was in Melrose Place,
he's fantastic.
Yep. I got to go.
You do?
Yeah.
Good.
I got to get ready for this meeting.
I bet, yeah. Well, if you need, if you want to meet beforehand just to talk about it so everything's cool, just let me know.
No, I'm good. I appreciate it, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just put it out there.
No, thanks.
All right. Good.
No, you've been nothing. I appreciate the way you let me get my start and everything. It was really nice of you. Good. I mean, whatever happens tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Go.
Okay.
So, is wearing the right pair of suspenders the key to success? Dana Vachon discusses his new book, Wearing the Right Suspenders is the Key to Success. But first, what's this video of hot girls dancing? Could this show be any more hetero? We love women, can't emphasize that enough. Not into dudes anymore at all. It's for when going Dutch sounds like too much. I speak of the new dating site, whatsyourprice.com, which claims to be the eBay for dating. The site lets users negotiate the amount of money someone would have to pay to go on a date with them. So how is this not prostitution? Well, like Craigslist, it might end up there. But the frequently asked questions section of the site offers an answer, reading, quote, "This is all about paying for the first date. There is absolutely no sex involved, and except perhaps the chance of sex at some point in the future if you are able to successfully charm and seduce." I can see where this is going. Anyway, let's discuss this in our
lightning round.
Oh, that was fast. Hey, Rob, they say you put like 50% at the beginning of the date, 50% at the end of the date. If there's sex there, how is that not prostitution?
Well, look, everything's prostitution. I mean, if you buy dinner without arranging the terms ahead of time, it's fine. I mean, look, the 50%, I'm more interested to know what happens if it doesn't happen. Do I get my 50% back?
That's an interesting point. I guess you wouldn't, because it'd be like buying dinner.
Yeah, but I also want that back.
I
have actually invoiced.
Yes, you have. Yes. Elise, would you ever do this? Get paid for a date?
Absolutely not, but I think my fiance would be incredibly upset if I decided to.
But what if you made a deal with your fiance where you wouldn't do anything, you would just take the money?
I don't need money that badly. But you know, this doesn't bother me so much because it's consenting adults deciding to put themselves up online. It's not, like human trafficking.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what? It's an interesting point. Compare anything to human trafficking. It's nothing so bad.
Not even the Little League pedophile.
At least it's not human trafficking.
What I do find funny
Human trafficking is even as bad as human trafficking.
Terrible.
I do find funny is in the report they say if someone tries to send money, if they ask you to send money through Western Union, report them immediately.
Yeah.
And here we thought they had no standard.
Yeah, I know. Jeez. I've never used Western Union. I've only seen that in movies. But perhaps I'm just weird, Dana. What are the benefits of this?
I find it appalling.
Yes.
I think that love is sacred and pure, and it was given to us by God out of his love for us.
Yeah.
And that our love for each other is an extension of that love, and it's never, ever tainted by ambition or genetics or wealth, ever.
You wrote that on your profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that totally works.
It works.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, next topic. New research from the University of South Florida suggests that shared dislike, i.e. hatred, helps strangers bond. One possible explanation: by sharing negative thoughts, we're signaling that we instinctively trust this person because we suspect we might be similar. Rob, isn't this how life works? Team building, people that work together hate their boss. That makes them work better.
Yeah, absolutely right. Any organization works that way. You identify your coworkers who hate the boss. You spend the lunch hour talking about how much you hate the boss, and then after lunch you tell the boss what they've said about him.
There you go, and that works for promotion.
Listen, that's all you got here.
Exactly. Stephen, we bonded earlier in the green room over our hatred for your tight T-shirt.
This is true.
And I think it made the show better.
It's ironically tight. I've decided to convert to hipsterism.
Oh, really? The muscles. You don't really want the muscles. You're just ironically building them up.
It's irony, Greg.
Yes.
You spend some time in the East Village. What is your problem? No, I do think that's probably why New Yorkers have this sense of pride and everybody else hates them, because they hate the rest of the world. And so they share that common bond.
Dana, do you think hatred works better than shared likes?
I think Andy Borowitz is by and large not funny on Twitter and shouldn't send 80% of the stuff that he sends. I think people just follow him because other people do.
That's an interesting perspective.
I like what he said.
What are you doing after?
I don't know, but I feel like this is something happening.
I know. I think
bars in the area.
Yeah, we're watching it happen right
Thought
here.
of it that way.
Borowitz really screwed me in a story about the Jonas Brothers.
Really?
I bought it.
Yeah, you did? Jeez. At least I became politically to the right by hanging out with right-wingers because we hated hippies. So it works politically, correct?
We're all just base animals. We just not much complex thought. It doesn't take much to make you love one another.
That's a beautiful sentiment, I think. Maybe. Last topic. On Wednesday, an 85-year-old British sailor completed a transatlantic voyage with two friends on what they call a sail-powered craft. More like a luxury yacht. There it is. That was his raft, people. The crew said they wanted to prove the elderly are capable of adventures mistakenly considered dangerous. The kind that risks the lives of their rescuers. Not dangerous at all. I'll have you know it is quite dangerous. Rob, if they had to be rescued, they would have put more people in danger, wouldn't they? Isn't that unfair to the rescue teams when these people go out?
Well, when anybody does it, or just old people? I mean, why do you hate old people so much?
I don't know why.
I think it's kind of fun. They did it. They got away with it. And look, had they been lost at sea, what, are they going to invent a cure for cancer the next 6 months? You know what I mean? I mean, a nice and fun story. It would have been a little...
And actually, it's a good way to go. Because you've done everything in the world, and you're dying in a kind of an adventurous way. You don't really, I mean, it's better than, I guess, slipping on the floor in your bathroom, which is destined for me in about 5 years. Dana, will you be doing this in your 80s?
I do cocoon reenactments now.
Oh, really?
So there'll be no need for me to do this in my 80s, yeah.
You actually you belong to a group, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
From the Kiwanis Club.
Yeah.
We get together on Tuesday nights. We run naked through there's a group of Twilight Zone Kick the Can reenactors. Yeah. Every now and again we cross paths through the hedges.
That's fantastic. And disturbing. Stephen, is sailing even that impressive anymore? I mean, try swimming the Atlantic.
Try using a motor.
Yes.
I love he said that. Well, what else are you going to do as you get on in your years? Like, well, when he says it that way, well, what choice did you have?
I know.
I love it. He was like, the beautiful mahi were following us clear across the ocean.
I wonder what he's going to do
because they could smell the death.
It was Dick Van Dyke?
I believe it was. He is deaf. He's possessed by Dick Van Dyke. But you know what? It could be their families looking, well, the will. Let Gramps do whatever he wants, at least. Are we being too hard on them? Shouldn't we be saluting? They're American heroes. I'm not sure they're even American.
He's British,
Okay.
but a British hero, you know, those crazy Brits. But no, I think, you know, let him go ahead and do it as long as he didn't put other people in danger. And,
They always do, though.
Yeah, no one would be saying this if they had gotten stranded or if they found their dead bodies and the bodies were rescued. Everyone would say, well, why did they let these old crazy men do this?
The Royal Navy could have taken care of it. They have.
I'll tell you, though, I talk about this with the young girls that are sent around, you know, the girls that try to break the record by going around the world. I find that disturbing, that the parents, essentially child abuse, you know, when they send like a 14-year-old girl around to break a world record, and what if she dies? I mean, then who's at fault for that? I say the Brits. All right. That made no sense at all. So, if you haven't heard the new Red Eye podcast, then you are missing out on possibly the greatest thing on God's green earth. To catch them, go to foxnewsradio.com and click on Red Eye, and then enjoy. It's like taking a warm bubble bath with Bill, Andy, and myself without water or bubble bath soap or even a tub. But
Dear woman, we stand before you today as men committed to becoming more conscious in every way.
We feel deep love, great respect, and a growing sense of worship for the gifts of the feminine. We also feel deep sorrow about the destructive actions of the unconscious masculine in the past and present.
We want to apologize and make amends for those actions today so that we can move forward together into a new era of co-creation.
I commit to owning and stewarding a masculinity that honors and celebrates us as equals.
I know that in order to truly honor you as a multidimensional woman,
I must stand fully present with myself and own the gifts I have to share with you.
We can create great miracles together.
By nurturing each other in a conscious way. By treating each other with reverence and respect.
And by worshiping the divinity expressed in the masculine and the feminine energies.
He goes down.
Oh my goodness.
Laid.
That was from a video called Dear Woman. It was posted online by a group called Conscious Men. Their cats must be proud. Oh, I just handed it over to me. All right. It's time once again for a Red Eye. Where are they now? That was awesome. Surely you all recall this video.
That was 4 years ago. After a brief 15 minutes of fame, Trevor Swirlpaw developed a debilitating addiction, watching the toilet flush for up to 23 hours a day. His refusal to rarely leave the bathroom first took a toll on his health. Then, in 2009, Swirlpaw was sued for wasting too much of the city's water supply. But acting as his own lawyer, Swirlpaw won and had the case thrown out of court after citing a clause in the Freedom Flush Act of 1932. Today, he manages an at-home maid service called Meow That's What I Call Clean. This has been a Red Eye. Where are they now?
Greatest story ever. I don't think there's a dry eye here.
No. It's a triumph of the feline spirit.
It really is. Yeah. Look at you.
I'm not even a cat person.
I know.
You know, and I was moving.
I know. You know,
Greg, you do so much for cats.
I do.
I mean, Cat Fancy needs to make you the next cover story. You are an inspiration.
I am an inspiration, I believe.
Don't get me wrong. I would not let that cat in my house without being fingerprinted first.
Yes, that's
I like the verisimilitude, whereas most addicts go into the addiction industry. The cat he could only survive within the context of the sort of the lavatory world.
Yes.
It's not a real rehabilitation.
No, it's not at all. It's an indulging exercise. All right. We're going to close things out with a post-game wrap-up from TV's Andy Levy. To see clips of recent shows, go to foxnews.com/Red Eye. Go there, please.
You found at ricochet.com. Join it. You can listen and participate with some great, thoughtful people.
Okay. Elise, you doing this Twitter thing?
Yes, I need some new followers.
Yeah.
So
you hate the old ones?
No, I need more. More.
Yes.
Greedy.
Okay. What's your Twitter handle?
Elise_Jordan.
Elise_Jordan? Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Stephen, what'd you get up to last weekend?
Well, you know this, but not a lot of people know that I moonlight as a sports agent. But my agency dropped me, and I left with my one client. Things were pretty rough, Andy, for a while. But this weekend, in a display of his heart, he captured the hearts of Americans, and now business is good.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Yeah, it ended up well.
That's great. Greg, I have nothing for you, but I think it's pretty much time to go anyway as soon as I finish saying this. So, yeah, let's just go home.
Well, I don't know. How much time do we have?
I think that's it.
20 hard?
Yeah.
Reminds me of my... Well, never mind. Andy, see you later. Elise Jordan, well done. Dana Vachon, always a delight. Steven Crowder, lovely. Rob Long, always a pleasure. That does it for me. You know who I am? I'm Greg Gutfeld, and I shall see you tomorrow.